一見雑な手法の裏には味や調味料の比率を正確に理解している料理人の姿がある。どの家庭においても量は適切でなくてはならない。それすなわち匠の技。
そうそう。どうシャンリン、お褒めの言葉をもらえて嬉しい？すごく照れるよ。ありがとう勝利さん。私も口がうまい方だと思ってたけど、あなたと比べるとまだまだみたいだね。
同種が俺に礼を尽くす必要はない。同種の弁舌はリーユエ校全体が知っていることだ。
コーパーも何か注文する？遠慮しないで。この同種の私がおごるから。まあシャンリーにつけておくけど。また美味しいもんの話でもしてるのか？どう？あなたたちも食べてみない？食べる。食べないのか？わかった。先にやることを済ませよう。そう勝利っていつも理にかなったことを言うだろ。きっとお前の話なら聞き入れてくれるはずだ。
俺がガンオテイ君なら彼女をいくらか説得できたと思うが、今の俺は一介の滑稽に過ぎない。自分の身分を考慮する必要がある。
じゃあどうするんだよ。
直接ではなく切り口を変えてみるのはどうだ。彼女の心を動かすことのできる物語があれば、お前の伝えたい通りも伝わるだろう。物語の素材を探してくるといい。お前が必要だと言うなら俺からも意見を述べよう。
わかったぞ。つまり国政。どうしたの？目が泳いでるみたいだけど。もしかして急に来たから君と勝利さんの話を邪魔しちゃったかしら？
No,
だとした
not
ら
at all.
国政はどうして急にオイラたちを探しに来たんだ？私がここに来たのは1000人の方々を紹介してほしいからなの。もうすぐ仮説を迎えるから、リーユエ七世を代表して1000人へ贈り物を届けようと思って。おめでたい日なのに私の用事に付き合わせてしまって本当に悪いわね。花火に遅れないためにも手早く済ませましょう。一緒に？言っちゃったな。
ユーヘンはいつも物事を迅速に済ませる。
勝利も頼りになるぞ。
そう言ってもらえて光栄だ。
このお客さんは明日の夜に宴の席を2つ予約してて、あのお客さんは宅配の注文を。わ、来てくれたんだ。開
Her
会
school
祭
party
楽しんでる？
stays.
あの子のこと気にかけてくれてありがとう。かまどもずっと熱々でゴーパーも喜んでるよ。万民堂の味が恋しくなったらいつでも私に言ってね。どんなに忙しくてもあなたと一緒に過ごす時間は空けておくから。もうすぐ仮説を迎えるので、私たち七世からお二方にささやかな贈り物をと考えたんです。年越し用品や良質な絹を二巻き、それからピンバーヤには希少な花の種を用意しました。
おお、とてもいいものだな。気遣い感謝する七世。
それは嬉しいね。国政が選んだ花の種ならきっといいものに違いないじゃろ。ありがとう。縁妃は町が大好きで何かとすぐ町へ行くんじゃが。
まあや、私は何も暇つぶしに行っているわけじゃない。顧客たちのために調査をしてるんだ。
ほう、だったらチコ魚焼きの屋台にあんなに長くいたのも調査のためだったのかい？
おやおや、開湯祭楽しんでる？こんないい日に私のところに来るなんて。仕事の依頼をしに来たわけじゃなさそうだね。単純に私に会いたくなっちゃったの？急にそんな優しくされたら怖い話で驚かせにくくなっちゃったじゃない。実は解凍祭中でもね、結構忙しいの。シャンリンからレシピをいくつか聞いて 今試してるところ。はあれ？何その表情。逃げようとしてるの？行かないで！絶対まずくないから！もうすぐ仮説を迎えるので、七星を代表して挨拶に参りました。ささやかなものでお恥ずかしいのですが、どうぞお受け取りください。関羽から聞いた話だと、竜宮釈風神君は食事にとてもうるさいらしいから、下手に不快感を与えないようあえてお菓子は持ってこなかった。
ふむ。おほう。なるほど、面白い。そういえば先ほど関羽が昨月筑陽神君と李水定山神君に会いたがっていたな。あの二人の老いぼれは昨月筑陽神君はいつもリーウェ公のことを気にかけておる。しかし当時皆でリーウェを七星に任せると決めたのだ。好き勝手に町で人の仕事を監督するなど不適切であろう。わらわも説得した。もし本当に気になるのなら人間の姿となって城内へ見に行けばいいとな。しかしあの頑固親父、どうしても割り切れぬそうだ。その後あやつは辺りを散策すると言い外へ出かけ、未だに帰ってきておらぬ。李水定山神君の方はそんなことなかったのだが、山門の守衛のために何か真新しいものがないか探しに行くと言っておった。そういうわけであやつも外出しており、未だに知らせ一つよこさない。いや待てよ、よもやあの二人それらを言い訳に遊びに行ったのではないか。
Seems possible.
口にできるものを城内から持ってきた。聞けばリーユエ人は解凍祭の時食べ物を知り合いに送るらしい。だから。そんな、私はあえてお菓子を持ってこなかったのに。大丈夫かしら。
おう、あの二人の分も用意したのか。まさか城内に移ってたった数日でそこまで気が利くようになるとはな。菓子を持ってきてくれて感謝するぞ神格。お前は小さい頃からわらわが仕掛けを作っていると部屋で走り回るのが好きだった。それにわらわの作ったあれで遊ぶのが好きだったな。
龍神君、私まだ用事がありましたのでお先に失礼します。
But if I really spent this vacation with Cloud Retainer, it wouldn't be long before she started asking me, "How has your career developed this year? Any new crushes one should know about?" What? Don't you start that as well?
あれ、待てよ、あそこにいるの。
Oh,
白先生が薬を欲しがってた。だからナナが取ってきた。でも白先生も来た。
祭りの時期になると不袋にある胃腸薬がすぐに売り切れてしまいます。もうすぐ解凍祭ですので事前に準備をしておきたいと思いまして。
right.
国生、旅人、忙しい。ナナたちも忙しい。みんな一緒に頑張る。お二人ではお三方、これ以上邪魔しないよう私たちは先に失礼するわ。いないわね。もしかして時間が悪かったのかしら。
お前たち何用だ。
オイラたち、お前に解凍祭の贈り物を届けに来たんだ。ほら、美味しいもんがいっぱいあるぞ。おい、待てよ、もう行っちゃうのか。
それに祭りの期間中は妖魔の侵入に対してより一層警戒を強める必要がある。それ、お前たちも 娯楽に興じるときは用心するがいい。危険にあったときはならいい。
皆の者、こいつをもっときつく縛っておけ。
私が言ったことは全て本当なんです。ヒュン商会はとても有名ですし、仲間たちもあなたの紹介だと知っていたら決して手を出していなかった。
つまり他に狙っていたものがあったと？それは何？
いや、とにかく信じてください。決してこの貨物を狙っていたわけではありません。
皆の者、この族を総務士まで連れて行け。
Xiangli, we're back!
Not everyone gets the privilege of meeting someone so knowledgeable and discreet as Mr. Zhangli. You are indeed well connected, traveler.
I am flattered, Miss Yun. It is an honor for an ordinary person like myself to have met the traveler.
Wow. Did he really just say that? Oh, now Paimon remembers. Cloud Retainer said that if she spends all her efforts working on a machine with no time to test the outcome, then she'd be like a chef who doesn't get to try their own food. Problems are bound to pop up.
Yes, it is most unwise to put the cart before the horse.
Uh-huh. That's exactly what she said. So, let's make that happen to the chef in the story. He's great at cooking, but he can't enjoy his own food. You're saying Paimon made a good story?
Sincerity can allow one to see clearly, and earnest advice can provide sound direction. The story is indeed good.
Hear that? Zhangli says Paimon's story has what it takes. If anyone knows a good story, he does.
So, that's the whole story?
Oh, yep, that's the whole thing. Hey! Didn't you just say that Paimon made a great story?
Did you come up with that story?
Oh, no, we just...
解答祭が終わった後にまたナナを連れて街を回りましょう。それでいいですか？
じゃあ、ノートに書いておく。
ええ、わかりました。筆をどうぞ。
Woba.
Did you see that? Way over there, a firework that looks just like a pig!
So it does.
Hey everyone, time to eat. Food's ready. No better way to celebrate.
Dr. Baiju, sorry to trouble you again this year.
No trouble at all.
Lantern Rite. Happy Lantern Rite. Huh? Happy Lantern Rite!
We meet again, traveler. What a rare opportunity to meet with you here in Liyue during this finest of festivals, as busy as you are on your travels. As you can see, I'm ambling the streets at my leisure, enjoying the sound of people chattering and birds chirping. Wangsheng Funeral Parlor has been somewhat idle as of late, so I am presently unoccupied. When the director is out visiting friends, I take the opportunities to head out myself. Habit dictates that my first port of call is here, where I order myself a pot of tea and listen to the storyteller. At festival times, the storyteller will always select a few new passages that complement the spirit of the season. Most are variations on existing legends or accounts from folk history. Their historicity is questionable at times, but it is their entertainment value that makes them an excellent choice for the festive period.
I know exactly what you mean.
Then it seems you are becoming rather familiar with the storyteller at this establishment. Time marches forward relentlessly. People change. Traditions change. Lantern Rite is no exception. In times of old, Liyue was constantly at war. People lit lanterns and sent them into the sky to help guide the warriors on the distant front back to their home. Today we live in a time of peace, and the custom of releasing lanterns has become ceremonial in nature. For the people of Liyue, the ritual of lighting lanterns every year symbolizes the undying spirit of heroism. The things that refuse to be shaken by the passage of time, those are Liyue's roots. Traveler, I hope that you are able to celebrate the Lantern Rite together with the people of Liyue. Plans. Not a notion that can be easily applied to me anymore. I am a man of leisure. I simply go wherever I am inclined, wherever that may be. Although, now that you mention it, yes, I should make the most of this festive period by venturing to parts of Liyue that lie beyond the harbor. I began with tea at third round knockout today. Perhaps tomorrow I shall try somewhere else in the near vicinity. It is quite a joy to be idle and explore this bustling city at my leisure.
Nice and spicy.
Made another handsome sum today.
Oh, you're here. I do apologize. Another matter was occupying my mind just now. Hanfeng's Ironmongers has a long history. Ownership has been passed down from generation to generation, and today it is known as the most reputable blacksmith in the land. The art of forging prizes precision and diligence. The tasks of forging weapons and processing ore require a great deal of time and patience. To most, the sound of iron being struck with a hammer is loud and intrusive. But to those who appreciate this art form, it is like the toll of a bell, breathtaking and transfixing. The sound of metal clashing with metal causes one to fall quiet, calms one's spirit, focuses one's attention, and then, with a mind emptied of unwanted thoughts, devote oneself fully to the work at hand. Any talent I possess comes not from natural inclination, but out of necessity. In times of war, weapons are indispensable equipment and highly sought after. The wondrous ley lines of Liyue produce all manner of exquisite ore. It follows naturally that distinguished artisans and prized wares arise in response. But I have always thought that a craftsman's ingenuity is far more valuable than any precious stone. The most accomplished in their craft do not limit themselves to working exclusively with rare ores. Well, traveler, after your long sojourn in Liyue, I trust you will have heard of the houses of Kun and Yun. The House of Kun is a long-established name in the art of forging. To this day, their descendants continue their craft. The House of Yun did not limit themselves to this craft. They branched out into many different disciplines and districts. Their descendants today still uphold the work ethic taught within their family for generations. Even ostensible perfection can oft be improved upon through diligence. This has contributed towards their excellence in numerous fields. Ah, so you are acquainted with Miss Yun. Yes, the talented Yun Jin of Liyue operatic fame is indeed a descendant of the historic House of Yun. Her ancestors changed professions long ago. It was her father's generation that dedicated themselves to the performing arts. In this day and age, the Yun family's history has been forgotten, and nobody knows of the connection they once had to the art of forging. The evolution of families over the ages has been a profound force in shaping Liyue's history. While you're here, if you have the time, you may find learning about the human history of Liyue to be illuminating. Much that you might want to know can be found in books. Even books change over the generations, causing discrepancies between their contents and the historical facts. But books can function as a mirror for humanity. Reading is the noblest of pastimes. There is always some benefit to be derived. Ah, I wondered if I might run into you again. This makes the third day in a row. Perhaps it is fate rather than coincidence. Yes, after our conversation yesterday, I thought I might visit the bookhouse and see what constitutes popular literature these days. Indeed. Traveler, do you know anything of the origins of books in Liyue? First, people ground wood into pulp to make paper. For ease of reading, they began binding sheets together to make what we now call books. Later, they developed movable type printing to improve the speed and quality of production. Eventually, the technology developed to the point where books like those we see here can easily be produced in great quantities. There has been a proliferation of literary genres and works since that time. Traveler, is there any book from Liyue that has made a particularly strong impression on you? Oh, so you've read it too. The author does not lack for ideas. Sometimes they move in strange directions, and even I cannot claim to fully understand their meaning. But it makes for fresh and interesting reading material, a lot like reading somebody else's biography. Gods and adepti are far removed from the mortal experience. That they are difficult to portray in writing is no surprise. It is true that the Geo-Archon Morax would journey in the mortal realm from time to time. But there was not quite so much ostentatious shape-shifting as the books would have you believe. When the goal is to wander the streets undetected, donning an overly elaborate disguise is somewhat self-defeating. Such discrepancies illustrate the difference between history as it happened and folk accounts based on hearsay. The value of reading accounts penned by others is in the chance to view the world through their eyes. It is very often an unfamiliar sight, though never an uninteresting one. Ah, yes. A memorable work indeed. I have heard that this is an unpopular book, due to its often impenetrable prose, and yet the Yakshas described in it are real historical figures. They were loyal servants of Liyue. They lived through a bitter war and sacrificed much. All of Liyue, from harbor to chasm, is indebted to the Yakshas for their protection over the years. I believe you have seen one of these Yakshas in the flesh. Yes. These days he often appears at Dihua Marsh. He is given to solitude, but I suspect that he would not turn away a reliable companion such as yourself. Should you happen to see him, please, pass on my season's greetings.
You're here. I'm guessing this lantern rite is the same as every year. The demons have retreated, and the humans are safe and well. If Pervasi's knew, it would be a lifelong wish come true for him. I trust you're not here to invite me to watch the fireworks in the city. I think I'll be fine right here. As long as the fireworks fly high enough, you can see them from wherever you are. Besides, if anyone wishes to see me, I know they'll come and find me. So whether I'm here or in the city, it makes no difference.
Where the clear blue water runs into the sky, and an ocean of silver grass stretches out before the eye. That was written about Dihua Marsh. From an altitude, the sight of reeds on the water rustling gently in the breeze is indeed a sight beautiful beyond compare. Wangshu Inn is located in the heart of Dihua Marsh and provides the finest in both food and scenery. It is no wonder that travelers are fond of staying here. But Wangshu Inn is no mere guest house. It was built tall to provide superior visibility for surveying the surrounding terrain. And it was built here, on this road, because it is one of the main routes for traffic into the region. This is a strategic location that must be defended at all costs. Yes, That is one of the primary reasons that he frequents the inn. Looking southeast from here, one can see all the way to Guyun Stone Forest. With gods lying sealed beneath those rocks, the area is frequently afflicted with monster activity. Xiao often goes back and forth between here and Guyun. Being constantly on the move must be tiring for him. My purpose in coming here was to give him a few words of comfort, but to my surprise, I did not find him on the roof. Perhaps so. Nevertheless, this trip was by no means a waste. Besides, there shall be no shortage of opportunities to meet in the future. On the subject of Wangshu Inn, the chef here is highly talented. If I recall correctly, there was a cooking competition hosted in Liyue Harbor during the Moonchase Festival. This chef was selected to represent the Dihua Marsh region, entered the finals, and took second prize. Culinary excellence should always be shared far and wide. Being up so high reminds me of another lofty location. Yes, one that the Adepti once took control of, long ago. It then fell into disuse. Whether anyone tends to it these days, I do not know. All right then. That is where I shall go tomorrow. Here above the clouds, where the moon sets and the sun rises before your eyes, one's sense of time becomes indistinct. Indeed. You have encountered her several times, correct? You possess a wealth of knowledge and experience, and you have goodness in your heart. Naturally, you are able to have friendly interactions with her. Cloud Retainer is an expert in the mechanical arts and an avid inventor. Generous and kind, honest and forthright. I treasure her as both a friend and teacher, the likes of whom are hard to come by. An old friend once said to me that if you ever have a question on the most trivial of affairs, 2 hours conversing with Cloud Retainer will leave you better informed than 3 days and nights talking to every soul in the harbor. Traveler, would you say you agree? Yes, Cloud Retainer does not waste words, but this is no bad thing. She may say that she prefers to keep her distance from the mortal realm, but in fact, she cares deeply for humanity. I believe I have gazed at the mountains long enough. Time for a change of scenery. Tomorrow. Yes. Perhaps I will head further north. Qingse village is one of the more populated places outside of the harbor. I think I shall go there. Compared to the constant hubbub of Liyue Harbor, it is far more serene here. It is a pleasant and leisurely atmosphere, not unfit for a festival. On the way over, I saw grandparents preparing meals, children learning to make Xiao lanterns. It was quite nostalgic for me. It took me back to the very earliest days of Liyue's history. Back then, most able-bodied adults were busy supporting the war effort or helping to build the city. Like now, the oldest and youngest supported each other, living humble lives. Indeed, their lives were not easy. But the people of Liyue have tenacity and optimism in their bones. They will never stop striving for progress, no matter how much destitution they face. In ancient times, Qingse village was once ravaged by the Che. It is now several thousand years since it was put to rest. Over the millennia, people built dwellings and worked the fertile land, creating the spectacular view we now see today. That after it died, its body became the rocky mountains and flowing waters of Qingse. I too have heard this story. The idea is captivating, though I'm afraid it is pure fantasy. Lofty mountains have stood, and spring water has flowed here since time immemorial. That people now inhabit this place is solely because they have toiled to make it so. Qingse's verdant hills and stunning waters, paired with the tranquil atmosphere here, make it a place of extraordinary beauty. A rare blessing indeed. Oh, One of the villagers generously gifted me with some fresh bamboo shoots. They will add some seasonal flavor to a meal on my return to Liyue Harbor. Seasonal bamboo shoots are yet another rare blessing offered by Qingce Village. This year's Shao lanterns and fireworks seem more exquisite than ever. Yes, after a most worthwhile journey. Had I not heeded your advice, I fear I may have missed out on the scenes I saw. Thank you, traveler. Liyue's beauty always gladdens my heart. There is everything from the graceful to the grandiose, from serenity to splendor. And the ways in which the sights of Liyue stir the heart, they must be seen to be experienced. The people of Liyue today are busier than ever before. Yet still, they head home when the festival season comes, no matter how long the journey takes, just for the chance to sit around the stove and share a joyful time with their loved ones. Even a glimpse of Liyue's scenery on their homeward journey can serve to comfort their spirits. Traveler, this view belongs to you as much as to anyone else. Though your journey ahead may be long and much awaits for you to accomplish, I hope that each time you return to Liyue, sights such as these will put your mind at ease. A safe haven between the mountains, a warm glow that guides you out from a dense forest. Like the stars in the sky, may the lights of this city always shine for you, traveler, even from beyond the clouds.
This looks like the glazed lily flower. I didn't know there was a timer. I thought we would fail the challenge after the timer goes out, but we can still keep going. 98, 99, 99. What the heck is this? Are you serious? A kite?
Torn to oblivion! Illusion shattered!
Having sucrose would be really helpful here. Let's see.
Darkness, come, sever night from day.
There is no escape!
Oh, it's raining. Free reaction. Free reaction.
Absorption test. Enhanced animal module 75. Everybody stand! Oz revealed.
Torn to oblivion!
Just you wait!
Wait, this was fast.
Yeah. Ha! 甘いはっ！光天道万象